I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on the Spotlight Network, we're diving into the heart of relationships with an amazing author and amazing clergyman. His name is Reverend Dr. Lorenza James, and he has penned a powerful book. It is called Where Did We Go Wrong? A question concerning marital struggles, conflicts, and triumphs. If you've ever wondered why so many marriages struggle or how struggling couples can find their way back, this book is a must read. With decades of experience counseling couples and a deep understanding of faith and commitment, Dr. James offers a roadmap to healing, reconciliation, and lasting love. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put him in the spotlight today, and we ask viewers like you to support authors like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his amazing book. The links are below this interview. And be sure to download the Spotlight Network TV app streaming on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. Dr. James, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you, Mr. Crawford. I'm honored to be here with you.
The honor is all mine, sir. I'd imagine this book is born out of all of the marriage counseling you've done over the years. You probably hear a lot of the same stories and see a lot of the same patterns, right?
That is correct, sir. During my 50 years of ministry, I've had the opportunity to be able to engage people pre-marriage and post-marriage in dealing with relationship, which caused me to wonder or raise the issue about where do we miss the point? Where do we get off course, and how can we correct these so that those who come behind us will be able to benefit from our understanding?
Absolutely. It's important work. So let me ask you the question, why do so many marriages fail? And what can couples do to prevent it?
Well, there's not just a one answer
Mhm.
for this situation, but it does begin with people understanding relationship. Too often, we're led into believing that just because people meet and they have some type of magnetic attraction, that's going to mean that they're going to have a life together where they'll be able to uh, get the most out of life. When really it's just the beginning. Relationship is about development. It's not I found you, I have you, and that's it.
Mhm.
It's all about discovery. And we find that in relationship, even when people think they know each other, they don't really know each other. It's only when you get a chance to spend time, share time, and give time that you're able to come to grips with the person that you are. And even then, there's still many unanswered questions.
Yeah. I think a lot of it comes in the initial phases, as you kind of alluded to. Just because you're attracted to someone doesn't mean that that person's going to be a good partner for you. So before you actually get married, I think it's important to say, do you have the same values? Do you have the same goals? Do you want the same things out of life? Don't you think?
Yes, sir. Most assuredly. Uh, in my premarital counseling with couples, I deal with four basic elements, four categories, which I think will determine the success and or failure of marriages. And these four categories, which is outlined in the book, is first one is communication. And communication is more than just talking, is understanding what is being said. I oftentimes like to use when I talk to couples about communication that you can hear the same thing but have the different interpretation. And I usually like to use the word bark. And I have the couple sitting there and I say, without thinking about the answer, just give me your first response to the word bark, B-A-R-K.
Mhm.
And so sometimes they share the same response, sometimes they don't. And sometimes they say, one of the couple may say, when I hear the word bark, I think about a dog.
Mhm.
And if they both hear dog, then they have a working mechanism by which they can come to grips on the language that they share.
Mhm.
But say one hear a dog, but the other one hear a tree, bark on a tree.
Yeah.
And so now you've heard the same word, but you have different definitions. And if the relationship is based on not having the same definition of what you mean in your in your marriage or your relationship, then you'll find yourself butting heads and wonder why is it we're not making it when we seem to be talking all the time?
Mhm.
Well, you're talking, but you're not communicating.
Exactly.
Communication is not only what a person says, it's also what the other person hears. And
Hmm.
so when you share the same language, you're able to be able to not only say what you want the person to hear, but they can understand what you're saying. And that's just the first one. The second one has to do with finances. Finances is the aspect by which all of us deal with.
Hmm.
The old adage that think that just because we got the right person, we can live off love and everything.
Hmm.
That's just a misnomer. Uh, the bills come and other requirements. And if you don't have money or good money management, then it becomes a rip in the relationship. And when you don't have communication about this and knowing how to manage it, it just stirs up things. The third one has to do with sex and intimacy. Now, this is one of the areas by which many people enter into. Many people think they know how to have sex, and most time they really don't. They really don't know how to have sex. They know how to basically come together in a physical setting, but when it comes down to understanding sexual encounters, it's more than just getting together. It's understanding, go back to communication, uh, how a person uh, want to be engaged. In the book, I have a story about a woman who is entitled A Woman with a Smile. It's a story about a woman who was married for 30 years. And during this 30 years time, well, more than 30 years, she and her husband had two girls and uh, and she was never ever sexually fulfilled in their marriage. Uh, she lived at a time when women didn't speak openly about sexual encounters, and so as a result of it, she silently engaged or endured the process. Uh, and the thing about it, her husband, like most men, don't like to go to these types of counseling sessions and everything, but uh, the thing about it was that it wasn't that she didn't like sex or she didn't want to have sex with her husband. It's just that the way they were doing sex was uncomfortable for her. And
Hmm.
she didn't know how to express that discomfort in a way that might bruise his ego or make him feel like something was wrong with him or whatever. So she just endured this. If communication had been a part of the process,
Hmm.
it would have been to the point where it wouldn't have been no challenge. Because if you love your partner, want to please your partner, you want to know uh, what can I do best to make this moment most pleasurable time for us? Because you see, if a couple is engaged sexually to the point where it becomes truly pleasurable, it really allow all the other angles of the life to work in harmony. But if
Hmm.
there's some lack of communication or lack of fulfillment, then the mind roams, the heart lacks fulfillment, and all these things. And so that's the third one. The fourth one has to do with the relationship between family and friends, how much involved they are in the relationship and everything. And when you allow these four categories to be active in a marriage relationship, it has a better than 50% chance of being successful. But all has to do come back to being willing to work it out, stay together, and go through the difficult times.
Wonderful. Those are great key insights. Communication, finances, intimacy, and sex, as well as extended family and friends. I do think those are all major factors. They can all bring couples together, or they can all bring couples apart. My mother used to have a good saying. She used to say, when hunger comes in the door, love goes out the window. So financing is important. And those old school sayings were very, very true. And I do feel if a relationship is built only upon attraction, that's a dangerous model because there's always somebody more attractive around the corner. So it
Yes,
has to
sir.
be based on a real bond between the couples, real great communication, a
Mhm.
real sense of intimacy, both
Mhm.
inside and outside of the bedroom,
Mhm.
where you're communicating real values to each other and
Mhm.
really communicating on a level that connects. Let's talk about faith. What
Yes,
role
sir.
does faith play in saving struggling marriages?
Well, I think faith is a foundational part of relationship. When you understand how it was designed by God, that as recorded in the book of Genesis, when God made all the creation, he said looked at his creation, he said that it's not good for man to be alone. And so from Adam, he created a helper, and this helper was supposed to be able to balance him out, to be able to support him and strengthen him. Unfortunately, sometimes people misapply this to make it seem like the woman is less than the man, but it's never in the sight of God this to be. And this sometimes interferes with relationship because society sometimes give men the idea that they're supposed to be the dominator over the woman. But
Mm.
from God's perspective, it is about being equal and sharing things because a house cannot be a home unless the man and the woman share a common understanding and agreement, an equal partnership in the process. And by doing this, each one support the other. So faith becomes a real important element in the relationship.
Mm.
When God is taken out of the relationship, then it brings in opportunity for other things to come, other philosophies, other ideas, which detract from the relationship. Uh, if you believe that God ordained marriage for a man and woman to share, and then other philosophy comes in because you don't adhere to God, then you may think that, well, I'm not just satisfied with one woman. I need two women or three women. Or why not let's just have an open marriage where we just go and do everything? Well, when you have these types of approach, you diffuse or you water down the true meaning of marriage. The true meaning of marriage is to be able to bring uh, continuity, solidity, and fulfillment.
Mm.
And as long as you're searching for other things, meaning you're not fulfilled where you are. And when you allow faith in God to be the foundation by which you approach marriage or relationship, then it helps you to be able to not be quick to jump into bed because once you jump into bed, many times the pursuit is over with and you
Mm.
don't really want to do that. You want to go other pursuits. But if you let the pursuit be based on get to understand who the person is that you're dealing with, now when you come together, you realize that you didn't just come together uh, just idly, but you come together because you believe in the principles of God and the foundation of marriage.
Wonderful. Great insights, great advice. This is a terrific book, folks. It is called Where Did We Go Wrong? A question concerning marital struggles, conflicts, and triumphs. If you've ever wondered why so many marriages struggle or how struggling couples can find their way back together, this book is a must read. With decades of experience counseling couples and a deep understanding of faith and commitment, Dr. James offers a roadmap to healing, reconciliation, and lasting love. Dr. James, thanks so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you, Mr. Crawford. You are a notable man and notable man, and I'm honored to be here with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. And thanks for elevating me to doctor. I appreciate that. Maybe one day, you never know. But I appreciate that, sir. Great speaking with you. Really appreciate your wisdom and your insights. For the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.